Hey guys, we're going to do a little video this morning about how to DIY your own cold cap for chemotherapy. You've got about, according to my oncologist, you've got about a 50% chance that you can save your hair. This is my 12th week of Taxol, and indeed my hair was saved. And there are some companies online that you can order, costs maybe $1,200. You got to go out and get dry ice. But being the cheapskate that I am, I did not want to spend that money on a 50% chance that I might save my hair. So my brilliant husband decided to order these Camelbacks, which we ended up filling with a mixture of rubbing alcohol and water. They sit in the freezer, and we use 3 of them on my head, and we use some Ace wraps around them, and there we go. So that's it, and I sit here for an hour of torture. Literally, it's really not fun, but I'm very happy to have my hair, and that's about it.
So it's an hour 5 times. We ice during the chemo for an hour, we ice an hour that evening, an hour the next morning, an hour the next night, and then 1 hour the next morning. And you know, it's worked. You can get these on Amazon for like 16 bucks each.
We'll put a link below in the description of the video to all the material that they use.
So anyway, these are like 16 bucks. Originally we were dumping ice in these and pouring water. We were going through over 10 pounds of ice every time. But somebody suggested we put some rubbing alcohol in it. I would say that this is about maybe a quarter to a fifth rubbing alcohol to the water. And it's perfect. They stay very cold for the entire hour. And you can see it's pretty mushy right now, but when it comes out of the freezer, you got to let it thaw a little bit. Like I was saying, they stay very cold, and it's so much easier than dealing with ice 5 times a week. So probably you'd have to experiment. A quarter, 25% to 20% rubbing alcohol to water. So we're going to start. And what we do is we have her in a recliner chair here. We stack 3 pillows under each arm so she can help hold these up because they're heavy. You're gonna want a reclining chair because there's no way you're gonna want to hold all this weight up on your head. I'd say we've got probably 15 pounds of stuff we stack on her head. So with these, we always put this side forward, the side that you open, and we faced it out this so it doesn't hurt her head. And we put 2 on, just about like that.
Now for the fun, folks. Now for the fun part.
So it does take a little while to get it just right. And we still struggle with getting it just right. If you put it too low, it squeezes down on her head. I think this has to go up a little bit now. No, I think you're too high. It's a challenge. It's frustrating, but she has her hair.
With very little monetary investment.
This is a super long Ace wrap. I think it's probably 15 feet long.
You probably don't need it that long.
Well, it's definitely helpful.
I'm rolling here.
Sorry
So
about
I
the
have gloves
sound.
on my hands right now because it's very cold to hold these. However, I also ice my hands and my feet in order to lower the risk of peripheral neuropathy. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can do it during the ice capping, or you can take another hour after the ice capping, it's more pleasant and it's more time consuming. I am wrapped up in several layers of like polypropylene. I've got 3 layers on the bottom and 2 layers on the top, plus I have a like below zero down coat on. And even then, I get really cold.
Go ahead and pull your hands out.
So what we do when we go to chemo and we're getting the Taxol infusion, we just have a little rolling cart and then a ice cooler with all of the ice packs in it, including we also have a Camelback for each foot and an ice pack for each hand.
So, as I was saying, we take the 2 side ones with this part forward. The top, we open it up and we put the other side forward so we can jam it down over her forehead. So we're covering 100%. So she opens it up so that we don't have problems with pulling her hair, because that's a big pain.
So I'm pulling open the 2 forward edges so he can tuck that so he can tuck that ice pack in the front.
And then we just take and wrap it.
Shall I let go?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I just kind of try to hold it.
And then when we get this wrap on, this is the part she doesn't like very much because we wrap it around her chin and we don't want to get it too tight. Now she's leaning back so that
It takes pressure off my neck and shoulders. My neck and shoulders get, sometimes they get kind of spazzed out from all of the weight. And you gotta be kind of careful with the under the chin wrap, because I've noticed sometimes if I don't keep my jaw shut, which is tough for me to keep my mouth shut, like right now I'm purposely talking, but usually I just kind of shut up from this point forward.
So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure that the gap is completely closed between all 3 bags. And we've got it really well covered. It's down on her forehead, covering her whole sides of her head, and the top with this last Camelback. So
that's it for now. We're done. Now it's a race to the timer for setting a 60. We usually set about a 55-minute timer, which I pretty much stare at. I try to put something on the TV that's extremely engaging, some like murder mystery or something. And then that's it. The hour's up.
A 58-minute countdown timer.
And just so you know, this is my very last icing.
Starting now.
I know, yay! My last icing of 12 weeks of Taxol, 5 icing sessions per week during the infusion, another one that
Let's just show them the
evening,
whole deal.
another one in the morning the next day, another one in the evening the next day. So like before Jeremiah goes to work, he'll ice me up for an hour, and then when he gets home, he'll ice me up for another hour. And then the following morning is the 5th one. So this is literally the last one, and I could practically cry. I'm so happy.
So we're stacking pillows up under her feet so that we can get the bags that I don't have right here. So we have a couple of 2-liter bags that we use for her feet, and we just stack them, we just put them right under here and try and get a good angle so she's comfortable. And then
Comfortable is kind of a loose sense of the term comfortable.
And then she just holds on to a couple of hand bags, which I'll wrap.
Although one note on the handbags, I don't think that's the best play. If I had it to do over, I would probably figure out a way to submerge my hands in ice and then just, you know, you can't keep them for an hour in ice, but, you know, coming and going in and out of the ice, because the worst part that I've had after the 12 weeks is some peripheral neuropathy in my fingers, predominantly my thumbs. So hopefully that's going to go away after the Taxol. I'm not sure. hopefully it will. So that's it, folks.
And go ahead and email, or I don't know if there's questions online below. We haven't done a YouTube, but if you have questions, I'm sure you can post it below, and we will be happy to answer any questions. We're amazed we've been able to keep her hair, and we're super thrilled that it's lasted 12 weeks.
And it's cheap.